Looks good. You guys looks good. I think this is a, one hand is very bad for everyone locked down. But on one hand, also they have a lot of, benefits. Because also one thing, a lot of people really learn so many things this time. And the second thing, this is a very big message for all of the world. What do you think? It's a very big message for everyone. Don't be too silly. You don't have much power. Very tiny, small, how you say, virus kills you. Therefore, I think this is a very big message for everyone. Hi, Tomshu, where are you? Again, his vacation? I saw Mary and also some.
New Hampshire.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, he's go to many times. This is the second time.
I'm going on behalf of you because you're staying in all the time. I usually go only once, but now I'm going 3 times. One for you and one for Anishi.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just stay here 5 months. Also, Mary and also outside. Are you outside?
Yes, Geshe, I'm on my back deck because I've got the dogs outside, and so I'm just keeping an eye on them, and they can listen to Geshe as well.
Good. Yeah, this is, one thing that I really want to say, oh, it's too bad. We couldn't go to center. We couldn't see each other. Yeah, one is that. It's all that. But also, another things, if we stay a little bit far away, then we also more love each other. We are more, thinking each other. It's really, always you see that, say, oh, do that, don't do that, don't do that. You always hear things, then you don't want to hear it anymore. Therefore, if you just stay a little bit, also distant, then keep touch, it's also more connection each other. It's really true. Therefore, right now also you guys stay you're outside, inside, whatever you like you can stay. It's very freedom. There, therefore we think about positive way because we all learn so many things. Also, we don't really lose anything like about Dharma way. We ought to praise. Maybe we do pray more than before. I do more than before. I just, before I just spend with the other people to some pray. Like mostly maybe, if longer one, maybe 3-4 hours. Sometimes, mostly like 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. But this time, sometimes I spend 6 hours with other people to some pray, some chanting, some talk. Also do a lot more Dharma activity. Therefore, I think there are a lot of benefits we can think of that. And also it's a gift for everyone, big message to we are the united. It really shows. We say, all Mother Samchin beings as the same is to wish to happy and wish to free from suffering. It's really right now, like with animals, okay, animals die, of course they are, but especially the Lord created the problem to the human beings, right? Now 7 billion human beings, it doesn't matter, you're a powerful person, you're a rich person, you're a famous person, you're a poor person, same, everyone has to challenge to the COVID-19, everyone. Therefore, it is really shows to all Mother Samchin being to which to free from suffering. It really show the message. It's also equanimity. It's really show equal, right? Therefore, someone believes, someone don't believe, doesn't matter. But reality, action, or the challenge, we all challenge the same thing. Therefore, it gives a lot of message to all of the world, for everyone. Give message, okay, be careful. Don't be you're too strong. You're just very tiny. It's really give message, right? Then also, I think it gives also people really more caring each other. I think, people have some more developed compassion and loving kindness. Do you think that? I feel like that, people have more. Of course, we can look at negative ways. There's so many negatives, but just don't look negative way. Because we don't want to look in negative things, right? Because we don't want to see, dirty things. It doesn't matter, whatever, public, non-public, doesn't matter. Therefore, we don't want to think that way also. It doesn't go away. Therefore, just keep that, just close that doors. If we see, if we feel, things the negative way, we always say, doesn't matter, the other person's how best, good, but if we change our mind, we always see the negative things. Any kind, small, big, doesn't matter. I give you very, how to say, technical, reality,
practical.
Or practical. I give you really practical, examples. Especially you guys, like lay people have a lot, experience, right? Like couples. First you meet them, you say, oh, just I'm giving you everything for what I have. Just you give up, just you give. Then if you have something wrong between, then you just whatever he or she does, just everything's very bad, very bothersome for you. Because it's very small things change. If it's a negative way, therefore, why we have to look in the positive way? Because it's benefit for us. It doesn't matter what other side change or not, doesn't matter. Good for us. Okay. I think my English finished. I think I'm going to buy some English. Do you know where they're going to sell English? Yeah. 제자 강터 아니 다 또임 내도인데 좀be 쇼치는 가서 나무라 강했대요. 이나단 네가 가서 타마라 지금 아니 다 메시지 첨부 이거는 따요.
So in one hand, this COVID-19 has given us a lot of people a lot of difficulties, but on the other hand, it has given us a big message also.
제가 단 내랑 가서 단다 랩비 쇼모보다 반에 지나서 소소 예산은 주네 소소 딱 답사나라 쇼로라 가와 데니르나 텔데는 가도 추년 쳐거든. 내가도 야보러 왔어.
So there's a good side of it also. Like right now, you can be anywhere. You can be outside, you can be inside, you can be in your kitchen, and be anywhere and listen teaching.
Even you go to the bathroom, you can just turn off the video, you can just listen. Don't think Geshe has very bad things, okay? It doesn't matter. 제자 아니 가터 네가 오늘 전에 남중아도 미사드네 나도 미사드 예름보지 마토같이 투나 나도 초와 망할래거든. 제가 가디나 투드나 코 잠자 파다 투다르타네 컨트롤하셔거든.
So if we don't see each other for a long time, and then when we meet after a long time, then we feel happy about seeing each other. But if we are always close with each other, then we knock here, knock there, and then get into a fight.
제가 단단 가서 편나 타는 보대다 찍지랑 가서 간지 간가 수분 통고도 간지 초월래기도 아니 가서 참바 파준 통고열에 300개 고열에 간지 가서 참바 파주 찍 샘타 내용도 와.
So right now we can, communicate with each other. We can see each other, can hear each other, and so we feel, still close with each other, right?
제자 아니 다 쇼게 저랑 나오야 라고 말들 사님만에 저 야 세치 아니 커피 통 주년은 되게 어렸어. 현대 영어는 야 좀더 섭다게 저기 저러. that's 섭다게 야나 수고도 또.
Also, you don't have to wake up early on Sundays, right? You can sleep as late as you just need to be awakened by just before 10 and grab a cup of coffee and then go back to your bed again and then listen from there. And if it's not like that, then you have to wake up very early and get ready. You have to put up all your makeups and everything and get ready to come here, right?
제자가 아니 되게 차네 가더라 나로서인데 랩비차 몸 섬다에도.
And so like that, we can think many good side about it, right? Good things about it.
다 나지겠다. 네가 잠블리 등원에 다 카쇼 찍봐. 아니 내가 랍자 찍봐지 등원에 랍자 트레스 왔다로 네가.
And so also it taught us that we are all same, in the world. Everybody is same or equal in the world.
어째 제다다 나도 노체네 제레다 가트 내가 가리는 것 가디는 쉬고요. 아니 차서 땅 가서 다 말해. 가지 강에로 가리쇼나. 소수대 가래. 원래 제한테 뺏는 것이 뭐죠? 원래 맞지는 않아도 때 강에도 도와주는 건데. 근데 소수 원래 제자와요.
It is very important to accept or to tolerate or to accept, the problems. If we don't accept it or tolerate it, then it always, becomes bigger and bigger, and we can never, never get rid of it.
제자 안에 소수가 안에 강에 대해 원래 제베 돈에 안에 대파 강에 대해 즉 세약이요 탑시 강요주의 제대하는 것이 뭐라고?
Yeah, so of course, by accepting it doesn't mean that just carry on and experience it. Of course, and you should try. You accept it, and then while accepting it, you should also try to, minimize or overcome it.
되지. 아니 더 빼는 것이 뭐지?
So that's very important.
제자 안에 남중아도 어떤 데는 연발에 장자 삼체 아니 나도 라레 따이데 가디나 나도 용용 작도.
And so we always think, must be like this, and then we really, don't pay much attention in doing the actual, real practice.
제자 아니 소수 냠래 야만은 미치가 랍자 아니 소수를 패마베 소수 대 몰래 제마지는 줘.
And so also, whether the advice from somebody will help you or not depends on how you, accept it, how well you accept it, right?
A lot of candies. Do you have some candies? Some chocolates. 제자 안에 도 전에 강달 안에 지금 나도 가디나 소주 삼바 나지 이든 가디 가디나 용거 말해. 대고 지된 거에 준이래. 아 제자 아니 드리 갑라야 아니 샘 마셔 맞지. 다데 강달 코백이 준이래. 아니 지된 로타래 없음 가지 소수 그때 원래 제샤바나 아니 소수 샘바 마주고 때내 평교사래.
So not everything will be perfect, so there will be always ups and downs. this is the nature of samsara. Because we're in samsara, driven by our karma and delusions, so therefore it will not be perfect, right? It will be there will always be up and down. So like that, if by thinking like that, this is the nature and this is how it is. If you accept it in that way, then whatever problem you face, will be less.
I want to say something after that. I forgot now. It shows getting old. Oh, that's all. Usually when I talk, I don't anything to prepare. I try to prepare, then that doesn't go what I just preparing. I'm just coming to when I start talking, then whatever come that just talk that. For me, like this better. It's problem. Then I one finish, the second one I forgot what I could say. 제가 간다는 알아서 벤다 간조그 벤다 다 차라도 남배 추 담보 거네네 아니 지금 못다바다 저와 못다바 디나네 못다바 존조바 아니 지 템보 메와 아니 다니 파스메 템보 다 몸보 가지고 장사를 왔어 단디 단다 까는 건데 가도 땡도 와.
So we have always studied about Buddhism, right? You have always studied about Buddhism and have always heard about how things are impermanent, how things doesn't last forever and keeps on changing or disintegrating. And now we really see it, right?
아니 되지. 아니 다 나중에 딱 알아서 온 거네 지금. 야보러 가서 참에 지나서 주사에 캔래. 가서 참에 로종야치, 냠래야치, 곰야잡 아니 현대에 줘가지고 단대 값그 두전들을 거네 땡대 팽게 오는 거죠.
So you all accept it, accept the teachings of the Buddha, and you try to do all the things like doing the prayers, doing meditations, doing practices. So all that things that you do, it really helps at this time.
제단 잠잠만 돌려그래. 배나 당에 로마 마보 쉬운 담배에서 샤랍 펜토만도 아니 간을 펜토에나 가도 삼삼대 용세 그런가 샵대 쉬운 내용이었으나 샤랍 펜토만도 삼삼세 그래.
And so we might think, it's possible, to think that, I've been doing so much practices. I've been reciting so many Tara prayers and have done so many pujas and so forth, but, nothing seems to be of any benefit. It's just that we don't feel it. Otherwise, it really helps and it really benefits. Vitamin C or D. So, like, do any of you take vitamins, like vitamin C, vitamin D, like that?
We have pills, right? But
do you see the benefit right away? Do you feel the help you're getting from it right away? So I've been eating also, since the COVID-19 started. Ani Yishe and Kimber has been asking me to eat, to increase the system, so make it better. I've been eating it every day now, but I don't feel any benefits. But it's definitely helping, right? So the doctors and scientists are saying that it really helps if we take those medicines. So it's just like that, doing all those practices that we do of reciting prayers, doing meditation, and so forth. It doesn't help us that much, because our practice is not that intense. But in some way, it's really helping us in some way.
아니 콘도 남주다 제당 별 댕에도 야 출래 대와 쇼여래 아니 짱보는 뭐 지금 마늘보다 지금 아니 다당에 배와를 지켜야 따야 지었다 지금 고수세 더서로 대와 쇼여래 단 대산도 실로라 대와대 용어도 와야 제자 콘주 간지 별 오한나 대딩 랍다보고 콘도 야 별이야 용토에 말 뭐게 하대 그래 얘는 스치 나무도 와 다나지 별이야 아니 배 사잘로 단다 오한가 나사 주는 야 레토에 말해 제가 등수 쇼진이 아니 소주 대바 담스 니네 아니 지 셰탱게 펴 소주고 물론 그 펴야 등수 땡데 이살 상거든.
So, like there are many Tibetan students, students in Wuhan, in a city. There are many Tibetan students, in the midst of the epic, of the pandemic. But they were all like very, strong belief. They all have very strong belief in the teachings, in the practices, and especially like taking the money pill. So the pill, blessed pill, made from recitation of Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, and also like wearing kind of a talisman on their necks, protection. The protection wheel, talisman made of protection wheel. So all these things beliefs, and because of that, none of those Tibetan students who are studying are infected by the COVID-19. And also because of those kind of beliefs that people have in Tibet, even though it's right very close to China, but not many people in Tibet has gotten the COVID-19 infected.
제자도 땡데가 간다를 단단가도 다 살짝 물음진도 와. 아니 단도 살짝 공부를 보시고 당도죠 물음 대양 고소 로지라고 셔봤잖아. 아니 녀마야 아니 다 배가 살짝 룸바다 코노소 다 tum바 딜라야. 네임들의 숑 아니 명모부 나 명모부 종 근데 다 룸바데 곰바데 미 체가도 봐 시월랑도 아니 멤버 때 탑신 다음에 맞아오지 아니 당도자 보시는데 당도자 보고 딱 뭐는 내 아니 참 나지 아니 내는 아니 네임 차서 봐 수송할 때 나도 와 다도 땡땡 문에 인제로 와.
And there's also this prayer from the Sakya tradition by Tongtang Gyalbo. And this Sakya Komon Rinpoche also mentioned about this in this Tibet and in the city there was a pandemic there, and none of things can help them. So no medicines, no all other things that they try to do couldn't help. And then the Tongtang Gyalbo, who composed this prayer, to do that. Like he said, like so many people died, like half of the village was all gone, or died. And then they, requested this prayer, and then the Tongtong Gyalbo came with this prayer and to do this prayer. And after they did that, then the pandemic, went away, or disappeared, and then they all survived. So there's like really strong connection, with the prayers and the belief.
제자 당 간소문에 다 쇼진의 가고 알아서 배나 모시바 된지 단다 도염나도 그 시송하더라 싫어 고음도 시당 고쇼라 가도 모시바만 보여라 와. 제타 아니 나도 샵된 치야다 냠는 치야다 아니 지금 도말로 수바도 땐데 뱅겨서래.
And so otherwise, we have so many people, right, around us that we know, and not many of the people that we know have been infected by this virus, or who have passed away because of this virus, right? So because of all these people that we know around are doing these prayers, right? All the prayers that's been advised to do, they've been doing this, so definitely those prayers are helping.
제가 간지 아니 답 샵텐도 간지 간도 쟁에 바제도 세토에 바제도 파세요 세요 와서 시당 담뭐 마시오 스직 소도 말랑 신도로 와서.
And so these prayers definitely can help to remove the hindrances, the obstacles, the hindrances. Of course, it cannot make it not die. Definitely, we're all going to die. But before the death, any obstacle that comes, can be removed by doing these prayers.
제장이 차도 남중아도 가도 빼샤게 와 가서 빼나 샵된 제야다 물음 제야다도 빼나 수수고 빼나 손쪽 센데 제와나 아니 못하다나 실백 손다고 바바다나 핸버거 손다고 그래서 아니 맨칸도 나가서 마스크 손다고 차대요 그래서.
So I've been telling this, these practices, the prayers that we do, it's like wearing a seatbelt when you are driving, or wearing a helmet when you are riding a motorbike, or putting on a surgical mask when you're in the clinic doing practices, right? So it's the practice is like that. It's helping in that way.
제가 돈주고 간지 자차 가나 간답지 가거든 말이야. 그 자차 자네 자 대연아도 저 안에 게임에도 말아.
So yeah, so wearing those things like seat belt and the helmet can only help to certain degree or certain percentage, right? So it doesn't mean that if you wear a seat belt, you're definitely not going to die if you crash. Right? So it doesn't mean that. So but it can help in to a certain level. So that's what it is.
제장안도 그변나 소소 냠내 전에 소소 세만하지 만져봐야나 야 안에 소소 냠내다 아니 도돌아 지 가로 여타 쳇도다 아니 지 이체랑도 근데다 대마요 지는 것다 나가거든 저도 저 대체다 자자 자네 자 쪽보상도 laptop 말했어.
And so doing all these practices and prayers and not helping you, should not cause you to be discouraged. So that's why I'm telling you this. And doing these prayers doesn't mean that you will definitely not have any problems, but it can help to prevent a certain level of a certain percentage of problems.
제가 바르면 D도 치바래. 가지 바르면 D도 치바.
Similar to vitamin D.
이나 바르면 D 사와네 저 나가 말던 것도 다 같이 도움 말아.
So it's like taking vitamin D we cannot say if you take vitamin D you will definitely not be sick.
어다 드네도 제가 다 제장아도 야 야지 다 소소가 레사다다 아니 괜찮다가 전에 나시그리 시시그리 나도 다 콘직된 로탄로 가도 켈레바이나 나도 아니 섬나 감자다 직자다 아니 소소로 줄라 이체라도 되네 요거 말해.
And so, so again, because of our own, karma that we have created in the past and the delusions, so conditioned by this, we can, still get sick, still die, so all this. So that's the nature, of samsara. So if we think and accept the things in that way, then at least we will not lose our faith in the Dharma.
다 나중에 아니 소소 냠내 지야 되긴 레벨이야 가로 다 가로 레벨 녀오쇼 삼다에 말해 가지.
And so also, on the other hand, you should not be expecting to have a very close result, like quick result from doing the practices.
이제 숙자면 동안 집어 말했어.
It's not like taking the painkiller.
제가 그 레벨에 무슨 도시라 매다는 것도 있지 예타체네 아니 잠좀 굴바이 라인 것도 왔대 것도 농초래.
So sometimes we don't see the result right away, and then we say we become discouraged, and then we say goodbye, to our practice. So it shouldn't be like that.
제가 단대 갑랑간에 소소소 쇼치니 아니 소소가 삽삽치야. 니네 가로서 남배 주고 아니 지 아니 소소 샘감고 잡조리 같은데 자네 다당아도 누구치네 강가 아니 간제 샘 만초치네 야보대도도 와도 단대 레벨에서 뛰고 와.
In one hand, of course, we've been very careful, right? We've been very careful and not going out without the mask and things like that, and not staying in and taking care of ourselves. So, in one hand, we're doing all that thing, and on the other hand, we're doing also the practices, and prayers, advised by our gurus, and because of that, we're still, quite and healthy and surviving, right?
제다단 잠불래야 나사 되게 잼베단 미 마음보고 샘금을 막 쉬우서다 하나 하사에 가서 사야 동심 못 막아 소자다.
And so because of this disease or the virus or the pandemic, and so many people, millions of people in the world are affected. Right?
제 자가 아니 지금 소소 나사된 무슨 나가 매와 임바이나. 소소달라 지금 되게 강의를 받는 소소 내가 쇼원한테 제 매와 임바나 다지 제거래 삼는 암라치네. 아니 몸볼 삼 강의 되더다.
So many people, millions of people in the world are affected by this pandemic, the coronavirus, right? Some people, of course, even if you are, even if you are not sick, even if you are not infected by the disease, even if you haven't lost your job because of that, but just thinking that maybe I might get sick or I might lose job and things are just the worry, has in that way you have been affected by this pandemic.
제 자가 아니 다 나주고 돈에 아니 직삼로 땜보지 여와나 아니 딘디가 강의에 대해서 내가 말했어.
But if you have a good understanding and a firm practice of Dharma, then you will not face these kind of problems a lot.
Okay, 제가 다 단단하고 나추고 뭐네 지 샤서 때야나 다 때문에 되더라 당군에.
So if you have the grace to show about of the Dharma, then this is the time to show the practice of Dharma.
그래. 어다 대사에 간제 소소 선발을 요 탑시. 소소다 지금 소소라에 지금 내가 여den게 소소 로파도 근데 선발을 변다 소소 선발을 요왔나 소소 침세 다 소소 로파 간지 남지 영도 강가 선발을 연거래. 선발 소소 축대 봤나 참만 축도로.
Yeah, so because of the understanding, because of the practice, then you can be more relaxed, and then you can also help others to be relaxed. So if it is important for yourself to be relaxed, and if you are relaxed, then others around you will be also more relaxed.
어다 때때인데 연거다. 제가 남중도 머리를 빼 딱까지 이제 왔다 두고
And so each person can make big changes.
제가 딱 알아서 가는 연거인데 강연 담을 제가 다티 가지 무슨 몰렌체 가리 나타는데 용 시그레스 몰렌체네 아니 텔라 돈렌체네 제토로 와.
And so how can I be relaxed in such a in the midst of this kind of pandemic? You can think like that, right? But if you think accept if you accept the situation, if you understand the nature of samsara and accept the things, then yes, you can be relaxed.
제가 한 것처럼 야 빼시오다. 양날 빼캔다들 샤야다. 샤가 기실라 빼샤가 원데 산제도 샹조 선바 드리들 채워서 빼 마셔지. 뭐게 가도 미자 품어서 빼샤가도 맞섬스.
Then I have another strange example. Strange example. So don't think that Geshe is giving you all these strange examples. Instead of giving the examples given by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, giving all the examples related with the lay people.
가르는 가도 맨날 사제 응만들이 총화들이 제가 가도 남들 선저 가도 대 뭐는 냠뇨 매하다 맨날 가도 레 통보지 초와서 제 도움도 와. 이세가다 노쇼바 빼깔래 가버시대.
So because if we just tell what the Buddha and Bodhisattvas told in the past, then that only becomes like telling a story. Doesn't really relate to their actual feelings, and especially with the Westerners, right?
제가 미절반은 마르거 사지 나도 가지고 어떤 거 나이도 가로
Migraine.
근데 난 용의 지금 난 용의 아따 나들이 나가도 막는 미파초와도 고토다다 알래 아따 대도 오늘 깔려서 다 나치는 많이 오지 잘하는 아다 그딴 거는 차치고 개말서 고토절래 도 말했어. 대치 바로라도.
So somebody who have experienced migraine, have understanding about migraine. And so if other person has a migraine and they complain about the migraine, then he will say, oh, yeah, poor guy, because he knows the pain, he can understand. So he will feel pity for the person. But if there's somebody who have never had experience of migraine, and then hears the other person complaining about migraine, then he says, this is just a simple headache. Why are you complaining so much about it? He will say like that.
제가 미 소소 냠뇨 요다 매기 채워다 땡데래도.
So it is really a big difference. So it makes big difference, of whether having or not having the experience.
제가 다 이게 빼샤거든. 지나서 다 미자 보모잖아. 소소까지 파트너 소소로 봐. 조보 담보 지나니 아니 para relation 야보 집에 가려야 호드가 카로잖아. 다저 요로 체가 됐어. 가나 추대 액셉트 도고 말했어. 다 주마 전에 아니 체랑경은 다도 가가지나 야소를 선발로 신의 세미나 액셉트 전에 가잖아. 추 토이 간 가가지나 추 두고 전 내가 말했어. 간 소소 캘린 잡아서 몰래 잡아라.
And so now comes the strange example with your boyfriend girlfriends again. So when you are in a good relationship or strong relationship, right? So so if one person decides to break up, then the other person almost goes like crazy, so crazy that he wants to commit suicide like that. That's it feels like that because you have not accepted. But then if you had a relationship for a long time and you both feel that okay, it's not really working out, and then you start to accept that okay, it's maybe better to be separated. Then you separate, and then it will be not big drama. So that this is all because how well you accept it or not. If you accept it, it's okay. If you don't accept it, then it can go very crazy.
제대로 했나 나도 내가 진짜 미치게 저나 내가 파비와도 소소 되는마 된바진 작으면도
So also same like in the job, is somebody firing you and you yourself leaving the job. It's not same, right?
제가 찍 소소 된 거는 요리 찍 거는 요 말은 거는 이만 제발 찍지 바로 그 가로.
So you're losing the job in either way, right? So, but the difference is one you accept, one you are not accept. You couldn't accept the one, but you have accepted the other one. So that's why, when you are fired, it becomes a big issue. But if you leave the job, it's nothing for you.
제가 전에 어제 두서 남주 소소비 강에 첼라 중심 가서 제바나 소소 대 제베컬라 가지 돈렌치 아니 물렌치네 다텔라 돈렌치와이나 아니 소소 샘 주고 말해 때때래.
So, so whatever level of difficulties you're facing at that time, if you accept it and then deal with it, then it will be not a big issue at all.
Okay. What thing of the Namju Tan some down, so chewa some down that Yimbare or Yapos do some Shashana Pengmare.
So this is something that we have to do on our daily basis, right? So you have to do that. If you have to think in that way. If you just say, oh yeah, maybe like that, maybe must be like that, or maybe like that, then it doesn't help. You yourself have to think in that way, practice in that way, and that will be helpful.
Oh, that Kazango to the ma. And
now, going back to our actual topic, we are almost about to generate bodhicitta now, right?
And
are any of you close to generating bodhicitta now? Have you done any practices and meditations like it is taught in the teachings?
Maybe Jesse a little close. And it's good enough. Kaje Zukolango Gemana, some of the time when I go to the Jana Penshu
So even if you cannot do so much serious meditations, but even if you can just contemplate a little bit on these topics, it will be really helpful.
Okay, 다 두시나 다 담봉아도 또 때 시다 남중아도 전화도 찍다다. 다 가장 되는 맛이 하다데 오늘은 가도 샹저부쌤 템보 슈침보 니바침보 용와라 아니 진짜명아 데데 바 로고와 다까지 뻔나 샹바다 니지 슈침보 템보 약포지 용와라 아니 맛이 텐데 로고 시작이요.
So in order to be able to generate a genuine bodhicitta, we have to go through these stages of practice, starting with recognizing all sentient beings as one's mother, and all the way to like great love and great compassion, and then altruism or superior intention. So in order to have that great love and great compassion, you should be able to see all sentient beings as having been your mother, remember their kindness and wishing to repay their kindness.
이나 시다 남중하다 나도절지 아니 샹바다 니지때 쟁도 나도지 맛이 텐데 삼부치게 마당와이나 간제 소소그지 가사야다절지 강에트나 강에트도 텐나 등원도 참마 섬치 소소 샘슈 치고용하다 아니 소소 가사야다절 야포요나 아니 대화다 되나 야포도 좀 소소고 tel라 가소치 랭도.
So the great compassion or great love, so in order to be able to generate that, you have to have that preceding part, of recognizing all sentient beings as your mother and so forth. But otherwise, for regular love and compassion, you don't have to have that, right? Even if you don't have the realization of recognizing all sentient beings as your mother, you can still have compassion, for somebody that you love. So it has to be somebody you love, right? Or somebody that you feel close to. And if that person is going through some problem, then you always feel like, you feel pity for that person, and you wish that person to be free from suffering. So that kind of compassion you can have. It's an ordinary compassion, right? So you can have that. Anybody can have that, yeah.
And 다나징아도 변나 줄올라 변에 샤시군라고 텐데 지금 다 시시마도 서서 된 강에 잡아토나 마도 샘나 빼 좋아 죽지 못 쟁도 니 쟁도.
And same with with the suffering that we see on the birds and animals. Like when we see the birds or other animals injured, and going through a lot of suffering, we feel compassion for them, right?
제가 땡간도 대화요 말은 간소도 다보요 말다. 나 뒤초레 도도 간다.
And so even though we don't have any strong relationship with them, but we can still have that feeling, right, of compassion.
얘는 다 템포샤라요 말. 그 템포샤라요 말. 니마치 대대가 될래도 저도 하고 너를 가도데 스코어도 피게라 코라지 칼란도서 주드는 희제섬직 더와 마도 터는 샘도 좋을 희제다. 양콘 너와래네 직 감변나도 이거 부르잖아요. 양아 코로서는 코도 도점대 지금도 그 이제도 조금도 어땠지. 소 가지 소소 만들어야지 그 레오나 디드가도 코로 사고도.
So this is very regular, ordinary compassion. All have. Like I do that kind of compassion, right? I have that kind of compassion for the squirrels. Like when I see the squirrels injured or sick and not finding a food, then I feel like, oh, poor squirrel. I feel compassion for them. But then when I see them making holes on the roof, then I get angry towards them and I throw stone at them. So at that time, my compassion is gone. So my compassion is very ordinary for a short time.
제다 탱가도 용거 제다 대템보셔 되는 말. 다 단단가도 아니 맛이 전조 요소 샴바 따뇽데 고마데 용어데 다 텐데 지금 마사지는 째터와나 빼면서 그 템보셔 차는 거서.
And so therefore, our kind of compassion and love is not very strong or stable, right? But if you develop a great compassion or love by seeing all sentient beings as your mother, remember their kindness and wishing to do their kindness, then that kind of compassion will be very strong and stable.
예, 제다 당아도 따뇽 공고 그래서 다 따뇽 저도 고민 배다야 계절라야 야 이건 말라야 셔도 저도 샘 요바더스.
And now, so it starts with the equanimity, right? So have you been meditating on equanimity? So we'll start with meditating on equanimity. Don't think that, again, he's going back to the same thing, boring topic, something like that.
저도 내 어떤 인사에 어떤 람름는데 송고요인데 쌈네 샤 마셔봤지. 대 인심지 때때 검쇼. 때때 검고도.
So just not living there saying that this is what is said in the teachings, this is what is said in the Lam-rim, but actually put into practice. So that's very important.
제가 누우지 안에 다 누우지만 안에 시다 따뇽란 대제 따뇽다 안에 지 토와 따뇽다 체메 따뇽도 뭐 다데나 간지 체메 따뇽 사디 시행도.
And so there are many kind of equanimity, right? The equanimity feeling, equanimity discrimination, and so forth. But here is talking about the equanimity,
immeasurable.
So immeasurable equanimity. So we're talking about when we talk about the four immeasurables, this is like that, immeasurable equanimity.
다들 곰나 가래 공부를 했는데 제가 내 템보이 쇼나 아니 대 마시 전조 조선여고서 다시 축치 뭐 템보지 가제 연구해서 와.
And so because the reason why we have to meditate on this is because if we meditate on this well and have a good stable understanding about that, then we'll be able to see all sentient beings as our mother, and then remember kindness and so forth. So those will come strong if we have a strong equanimity.
다 두지 곰당가에 두지 공고서도 없나. 아니 소소라 팬야 마도 내와 먼저 들이 가자 따님 바자만 미니 코 섬땅고 그래서 두슬랑도.
And it is said that you have to first start with the stranger and somebody who has not benefited you or not harmed you.
뭐 던리질 삼노탄에 던리질 삼노탄지 소소 셈바직 템보도 총와야나. 아니 디제서 아니 지 소소 아니 가사질라다네 아니 공고서도 왔어.
So first, you meditate on equanimity by thinking about stranger who has not caused, harmed, or helped, and then once that is stable, then you shift to the loved one, someone who has benefited you.
제다다도 전에 텐데기 샘제 소소 가지 조보요망에 다양하게 텐데질라 곰네 아니 텔라 지 차바야 메바 텔라 다음에 다와 메게 로 템보지 제타바이나 아니 테네 제네 제마도 바쁘고레스.
So by focusing on a stranger who has not benefited or harmed, towards whom you don't have attachment or hatred. So when you have had that strong, stable mind, then you shift to someone who you love, someone who you love, someone who has benefited you.
텐데게 다가지 차다 관계 영화도 마서베 땅용 걸로 디가라 삼모타라 땅에 데토고다 됐어. 고도치 데타바나 코나 나르고 준 것을 갈래가 슈첸도 것을 와.
So you have to be able to stay on that mind, which is not attached and not hating, right? Who is not attaching, who is not hated, and which is not hated, or which is not attached or hated. So if you stay on that mind, for some time, and then that mind will become stronger and stronger.
오케이 다곰장에다 까마가서 곰쇼 와.
Now, okay, now we're going to do meditation for a couple of minutes, okay?
아니 소소소고 텐데게 땅용 차다 가야 마체다가 sem제질 미네 아니 땅용 걸로 될 삼다니 대쇼 와.
And so focus on somebody who you are not attached to and who you don't hate, and stay in equanimity on that, in equanimity towards that person.
아니 내 마도바 주 곰자데 와.
And so until Geshe rings the bell, please meditate on it, okay?
어제 두 전에 곰고다. 제가도 두저전에 두 전이말에 까마카시 곰다와.
So you should meditate like that every day, about 5 minutes. If you can spend about 5 minutes to do the kind of meditation every day.
가나 텐데가 땅용 거 셈저라. 텐데 따따 찬영보 셈셈블로 디가라 샤네코 다라라 다 데토고다.
So you have to place the mind in equanimity and then be on that, for as long as possible.
다 대줄라 아니 대 직tem보나 야보 체제나 아니 다 소소가 변나 가사야사. 양다 나도 가사란 담만 먹어라. 소소 양타 니워잉에 야타 더하다만이게. 야 더하다만이게 뭐 보여로. 도졸라 루치치 곰보요. 됐어.
And so once that mind is stable, then you should shift to the mind toward thinking about somebody who you love and who has benefited you. And so when you see about people who you love or who has benefited you, there can be different levels, right? Someone you love very much, or someone you don't love very much, or someone you love so like that. So different level, right? Depending on how close you feel towards them. And then you focus on them and then try to meditate and equanimity towards them.
오다 대형 가도 야 카샬라 착바 슈체라 카샬라 마용 어드리고 대형도 소수 착바 슈체 준 거래서 강사들라 가시 제중 거네 거 말이.
Some people that we like, some people who we like, who are very attached to them, and some people who we like, who are not that attached to them. So that's like because depends on how much we like them.
오다 더서 참아 따당 집바 실행도 양은 수 곰쇼 지나서 변나 소소 페타 니오직 야 다스만이 야 다스 가다란 바 섬저고시 고조섬나 따당 집바 곰토도 식다고.
And now think about this different level of people, right? Level of people. Somebody you like so much, and somebody you don't like that much, and somebody you like so. Like the three different levels, and then try to see if you can think, if you can see all of them equal. So try to meditate on equanimity by equalizing all of them.
And then 제가 멤버 많이 받진 제가 요바치 단다 담보든 담아서 됐까지.
So it's not like you are not related with that person. You are related, So it's different from the stranger.
Okay. That day I come akashi gomsho some dansho.
And so now meditate on that. Think about that for a few minutes, okay?
What the tendency in Tanzo Tamala Tata Chipa, Chitation, any Shinita Suzuku Kaji, Tava Montes at the jump that Tendea, Majava, Choni Tarimbo that chick, Tarimbo Tarimamche, Yati, Tendisum Gomgund was.
And so then once that is been stable, then you shift, to someone you don't like, or someone you hate, somebody who has caused harm to you, and that can be also of different levels. Someone you like, you hate so much, or not so much, or so like that. So differently, so you have all this different level of people that you don't like, and now you equalize those three level of people you don't like.
O Tujin, Tanzola Gum, Tanzola Samne Janko, and Yambaro Suruchi Sotabayana, Tango Yapochari.
And then also these three people, you can, if you can equalize all these three different peoples, then it will be good for you.
Tade Maya Kaja Kajala Dama Shuchia, Kajala Dama Tad Meva, Kajaya Tesco, Jablo Langima, Sem Kangito, Tinel Hardy, Hilkangito Coach, Dama Shuchi.
So that's because somebody who has harmed you so much, you hate that person even more, and somebody who haven't harmed you so much, and then you don't have that much of hatred, or someone you just think about somebody who has harmed you in the past, or like that, so it can be small level of harm and hate, and so there are like different level of hate you have towards different people.
Okay, what that two say Gomshua.
And like that again, meditate, okay.
Oh yeah, that two chin the Gom Jab Gomiani, Yana Javiani, Yana Javana Kot, Kanji Suzu Semna Noa, Chitimri Tongosare.
So like that, if you meditate again and again, then you will gain understanding and experience.
Tati Kabla Karakyo Garden, and Chadani language, Rashula Chabe Chaba, General, then you Chimbo, that can't purchase you there. So Tanyum, much with it was.
And so here, the biggest obstacle, that causes that prevents you from generating the realization of equanimity is, seeing somebody, as a very strong enemy, and somebody and someone else, as a strong friend.
Well, that take Kari Dogo, that Doctor Tapshin Carriers and Anita Lam-rim Chibna Sonora.
And so then how do you prevent that? How do you prevent that kind of discrimination, of seeing somebody as a very strong enemy and somebody as very strong friend?
That tell at Tamata Niores.
So that is explained, in the Great Stages of the Path to Enlightenment, and in that, according to that, it says there are two different ways, of thinking that.
다 아니 담보 안에 변나 semche 참아지 대화도 주 동안면도 칭숭지 삼모 코트다고 그래 semche는 거니 봐준 거니 semche만.
And so one thing is to think of all sentient beings, are equal in wanting to be happy and not wanting any suffering.
제다 다 대인 말한테 고다 단대다 도임내도 난 바진 잠블이 미참아 가지 도임내도 그 강엔 쳇다 텔라 타야 탑시도 지바는 was.
And so you have to gain understanding about that. So just like now, all the people in the world are equal and wanting to be free from this pandemic.
아니 나도 저 삼tel에 아다 대동은 레와 삼아 대도 그 동al 저 삼로 여러 와 가도 삼거레스 대도 레와 삼 소설 때 용어 용금에다 세면 기반으로 놓고요 말이.
And we might be thinking like, yeah, it makes sense that everybody wants to be free from that suffering, right? So far suffering of this pandemic. Yeah, it makes sense, But because we have not really taught well, it doesn't make any changes to our mind.
제다 두 지내삼네 다 된데 인자 아니 섬제 카첼라 가워체와 카첼라 다와체라 아니 된다면도 섬네 아니 두 지내삼모 땅에 대고다 섬모 다랑 가 샤토 제고도.
And so you think that it is it is no point. It's no point to love somebody and to hate somebody. So you have to keep your mind on that thought.
뭐제 두 진짜 삼모당 나도 들어와나 코 달달달달나 코 솔레오르와 마드 테마틱다 니다 일하고 말와.
So you have to keep on thinking on that thought, just like when you sharpen the knife, you have to keep on rubbing, and then eventually it becomes sharp. Just by rubbing once or twice, it will not become sharp.
두 진짜 땅 근데 임바다 딱 카셀라 가워체와 카셀라 마고체 된다면도 섬 수수 셈테 마냠 냠용 탑시고도.
And so therefore you have to equalize your mind towards others, thinking it is no point to love somebody and to hate somebody.
어때 셈쟁 왔다 좋다 소중은 갔다오나 다 소소가 간지 아니 무슨 저 참에 그제 셈제 참에 간지 소소라 펜도 제ኞ요레스 대설무당 거인데 봐 대설무당 거라 아니 다니엘라야 아니 가로 뭐 제원들 갑달라까지 아니 다세 가디나 다임 바다 니에사 가디나 니엠 바다 내가 문바요 머레스 텐데요 머 트리 코섬 땅고 와.
And then, so that's your thinking from the other, from the sentient being side. But from your side, you have to think that all the sentient beings, whether they are friends or enemies, they all have benefited you. And then in that you can add to that by thinking about the point on the middle capable beings path, where it explains about the uncertainty of the friend or uncertainty of enemy. So those who are friend doesn't mean will remain friend all the time, and those who are enemy doesn't mean they will remain enemy all the time.
제자 대단해요. 대가서 대 지나서 냠냠 뭐 야, 막 담보 포사모사 갑래 조보 쳤네. 다 처음에는 시행랑했대. 다 단대 갑래 미딘 좀 도만이 것들 마보여랬어.
And so again, I can apply this to your strange example, my strange example, of boyfriend and girlfriend. So if somebody that you like, you love, doesn't mean you will love all the time or you will like all the time, right? So somebody like your boyfriend or girlfriend, at the beginning, maybe you love that person so much that you think that you will die if you don't see that person or don't be with that person. And then later you hate the person so much that you will die if you be with that person. So that's a big change like that. Yeah. So you have do any of you have that experience? And so you do have that experience, right? And so that experience shows that there's no certainty to the friends and enemies. So if you're thinking about somebody that you hate, and then think the fact that this person has benefited you at some point, at least one time this person has benefited, then your thought of hating that person will just slowly become less and less. And then once you have that, that stable mind, of equanimity, then you can, sow the seed of compassion, and pour the water of love, and then you will have a very good fruit.
Okay.
So like that, definitely do some meditations, okay?
Okay. Today inside some channel semlan jawa chin rosam rogum da temro tendere. Ani gom jab samlo ta gom jab samlo ta. Ani tende semlan jawa road.
And so definitely will not help if you just keep thinking, yeah, must be like that, or maybe like that. If you think like that, then definitely it will not help. You must, apply into practice and meditation in order to get the benefits.
Kalandosan kanaya lukche. Ani cheleg part bujadaji. Ani so to momna skala trotted. Mone legidora. Tilchipar.
It's like when you're eating food to feel the taste of the food, you have to put it inside the mouth and then move around with your tongue and bite with your teeth. Then you will get the taste of the food. This is similar to that.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Don't think Geshe doesn't finish a compassion. Okay. It's no rush. We need to little bit step or basic foundation in order to develop compassion. Okay. Therefore, also I give them some strange examples, try to, different ways, try to do a little bit meditation, This time I think very best time to meditation because you all have to at your home. You are not much to choose to go out. Okay? Okay, any questions? Yes, Deborah?
I don't really have a question, I just have a comment.
Okay.
I find that advice to see that everyone is the same one to be happy very helpful. When someone's doing something that's really annoying, maybe I'm on the highway and they're tailgating me and speeding, I get mad and then I think about, well, maybe they have to have an appointment or they have a child at home they need to get back to. They have a reason, they're doing it for a reason and they're trying to be happy and not really thinking about the consequences of what on other people. And so that's really been helpful to me during this time when you read about people getting angry and not wanting to wear a mask and all these things that are in the news. And it makes me a little bit more tolerant and accepting of people, just seeing everyone's the same and wanting to be happy.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's good like that. You think it a positive way, it's very helpful for us. Because we just don't think positive way. Anger, why he did it too fast? Why he didn't do that? Why he didn't follow that? They all have the reason. It's not like to, voluntarily do that. Yeah, that's a good common, common, right? Okay. If you understand the other's reality, something, then it's very helpful for our mind. Okay. Austin?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Geshe. Thank you for your teaching. I am really kind of worried about some things that aren't necessarily COVID related. They're more related to what I'm seeing right now with what's happening with vaccines. And, Massachusetts just mandated all children are to have mandatory vaccines before they can even attend school. And this is the first time I've ever seen this in the history of my life, where people are going to be told that they have to have a mandatory vaccine. COVID is not something I'm worried about, but what I'm worried about is the actual what's gonna come in the next year. With this new normal that everybody seems to be so happy with, wearing their masks and all that stuff. And what's going to happen, and what I'm thinking what's going to happen, is that we're going to all be forced this rush to vaccine if we want to get on an airplane, or if we want to leave the state, or if we want to send our kids to school. You know what I mean? These are all things that I'm really having a hard time with. And I feel like COVID is the least of our problems. And with this whole election coming up and everything else. But I think the vaccine is something we should really all be thinking about, because You know, we can't even get on a plane now without wearing a mask. Did we ever think that that was going to ever happen in our lives? Where we were going to be not able to travel and leave our state if we don't wear a mask? I mean, I'm getting a bit worried here with all this. And I don't see an end to, with all the, you know, it's like nothing we can do. We can't do anything. All they're saying is, we're waiting for a vaccine. We're waiting for a vaccine. We're waiting for a vaccine. There's a 99.6% survival rate. What's that going to do when we get a vaccine? Is it going to be like, okay, now we can all just go, it's like you're not going to be able to get up. You can have like a little card that says, okay, unless you're vaccinated, you can't go into a store or you can't get on a plane. I'm just really worried about this whole thing. So I don't know, that's, I think COVID is the least of our problems.
Khensur.
아까 랜드라다 갈대쳐서 연하네 델람미가 지시고 세트되다.
그들
아까 샘플 랑도 썼다. 샘플 랑도 썼다. 그런 단어가 백신 되는 거라. 단다 보고서 장마다 랍도 와라 백신 잡고 거랬어. 백신 맞잖아. 나가 다 콘조된 나자 되게다 가는 거나스. 다 가져다 제만 가져 남들도 도도네다 백신 잡고 치고 있었어. 아는 때다 단다 가져다 가서 가오도고나 남도나도고나 남도나도나 모라나도고나 강반나 가서 다 사가나도고나 가와나 된 가서디 카갑도고스 카갑에 되네 근데 진 도고고 어디 가던 가서 나 삼용을 말씀마 근데 가라다 가서 된 백신 잡아서 백신 단다 가서 자저 굽주 고단지 근데 다 냥가 요 말씀을 근데 가라다 백신 잡아는 되는 가라 자저 민거 말을 가르레스 근데 단다 되가나 단다 가서 디 오슈 연거라 다 신지 오시온 거라. 내가 저거를 뺐음도 랑도 서거라.
다들 제가 샘플 나오 말때 제가 샘플 제어 말인데 다들 제가 말 강가 랩쇼었다 멜랩쇼었다 말됐어.
So yeah, no need to worry about it. You know, you don't have to worry about it. You just think about the good side of it. Don't think about the bad side about it.
세상 안주가 아니 론딜런데 나사 영어 쓰지 조만이 메시가 가도 전혀 말라 나산데.
And so yeah, nobody has ever encountered with this kind of disease before, right? So who knew that this will come, and happen to all of us in this year.
제가 단단 될 니가 차양 안 주고 메탈 단단 마보 용거를 했을 그 항상 이렇게 요 말다데.
And so that can be even worse than this, that will happen in our lives. So there's nothing to be surprised about it.
제가 간다 디가 가도 스프레드 샘플 가도 때 팽가 말해서.
So yeah, worrying about it will not help us.
제가 자세 좀 시월에 같이 주소연은 델람가 치시요. 같이 주소면은 델람가 치시 패서. 가서 돈에 단대게는 봐. 아 소소고 때 돈에 올린체 델라 소소고 강게 소야가 탑시 쳐야 됐다 야수들에.
So just like Shantideva said, if it can be fixed, why worry about it? If it cannot be fixed, then what is the point of worrying about it, right? So this is really something that we should, put into practice now at this time.
제가 안중원에 내고 여왔다 도야다 안테 즉 지주다 가서 니바케요 말했어.
And so from our side, we have no power to stop it or to make any changes to it.
I don't think that's true. I think that you do have power to stop it and change it. I mean, we can protest things. We can, like I'm attending a protest next weekend to protest to have kids have to have mandatory flu shots in order to go to school. I mean, if we're not going to worry about, I understand not to worry about it because worrying doesn't do anything, but what about action? Like, what about, if you don't agree with something and you don't believe in it, then we should be able to go and talk about why we don't believe in it and to try to change those things. I mean, every single vaccine we've had has taken 10 to 20 years to develop. Now we're just supposed to just accept this rushed vaccine we're not gonna, people have jobs, My buddy can't even go to work. My buddy can't even go make money without being tested for the coronavirus. And he's an audio-visual tech. He doesn't even go talk, he doesn't even come into contact with people. It's like people are starting to make it so that you can't do things without getting a test. You can't do things without wearing a mask. Now it's going to be you can't do things without getting a vaccine. And I understand not to worry about it, but we all have jobs that we have to, my job entails traveling a lot. If I'm not going to be able to get on a plane without having a vaccine, especially a rushed one that, who knows if you could kill people with this vaccine. We have no idea what's going to happen long term. You know what I mean? That this is the first time in history science is doing this. And when you've got someone like Bill Gates involved, who's a computer technician, I'm not sure why he's even involved in this vaccine, but he is, and it's being rushed. So I don't know, to say not to worry about it, yes, I understand that, and it doesn't do any good to worry, but what about people who worried about, like, you know, ending slavery? You know, what about people who worried about making a difference and protesting certain things so that we have these freedoms today? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
제가 저런데 저기올 때 소수 내와 때려까지 소수 캔랜드 말에 이치면 소소소 너와를 왔어. 이제 가도 의인에다 삼탄 거래. 간지 백성기 시와다 코비드-19 시와를 쳐 가려래.
백신 시야스가 말다. 백신 되겠다 나자카야 된다로.
내가 코드나 시글라도 그 시간이가 그러더라도.
뭐 시기스가 말다. But the vaccine soyala gyurmushu courses. So are you saying that there is a big risk in taking the vaccine?
Oh, 100%. There's a huge risk in taking the vaccine because it's not tested. It's not going through all the scientific tests that typical vaccines go through. They're rushing this out because we think that there's this crazy virus. I mean, yes, people are dying. Okay, I get that. But with a polio vaccine, with tuberculosis vaccine, those took 10 to 20 years to develop. You can't just have this. You can't just say we're not going to get on with life until there's a vaccine. Do you see what I'm saying? And they're rushing it so that we can get on with life. But it doesn't seem to be like, okay, so what happens when we get the vaccine? There's a 99.6 survival rate. So they're saying every single person is going to have to get a vaccine.
So COVID-19 vaccine?
COVID-19 vaccine.
The COVID-19 vaccine data kunzoge sama job gorsi goresa. The corona is not the other day the kakab got the shoes in the shoes sigdo. It should have to go yamara. Kangashi Mara.
제가 간조가 변화 가십 권은 줘야다. 아니 더 샘트도 캠마다 소수 샘트 소여여 왔어. 제가 소수 그때 만드나 강가 샘트 차려 와. 소수 그때 너가 했나 쓰질 강에 요 말대. 소수 내가 만든 가도 나주 다들 오죠 제대로. 그래서 마치 소수 그때 캔랜드 말에 소수 내가 만든 거도.
So yeah, I mean, of course, if there is a risk, then of course you can protest about it, and it's, you're right, it's up to you, to choose whether to take it or not, and
but it's not.
And
it's
some
not
people,
up, it's not up to me whether to take it or not. If I want to get onto if I want to get onto a plane because I want to travel to Europe for my job, I have to. I will. I'm going to.
Oh, you have to wear the mask. Yes.
And I'm going to say, you're going to have to take a vaccine in order to get on a plane. Just like kids are now having to take a vaccine, or the flu shot. See, this is all like getting us used to these things. First it's the masks, then it's the mandatory flu shot. You know what I mean? Then it's going to be the mandatory rushed vaccine that could potentially kill you because nobody knows the trials that it's been through. Nobody knows long-term effects. So in 10 years, we could all be dead. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but in 10 years, this could really screw a lot of people's lives up.
이거 되게 말해봐나. 제당이 나도 이 뭐라이바. 나도 자세 죽지 담바데. 나도로 치는 원샷 주면에 지진의 용습바, 지진의 용습바 되는 것도 생기죠. 대장 따다 용도 왔어.
So this is what I've been telling that most of our worries, our worries are, because because thinking that, oh, maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's not going, maybe it's going to go that way, maybe, you know, like with a doubt, you know, our worry comes from there, and this is exactly like what you're doing now.
제가 나도 남들은 저 빼면 니가로 왔어. 니가 치우러 왔어. 나도 몰랐다 빼 니가로 왔어.
Like, you know, flying in the airplane is a big danger, big risk, right? It's a very, very risky thing, and even driving in a car is very risky thing.
근데 칼로 사이도 니가로 와. 나도 니가 진짜 째드나?
And then even eating food is a risky thing. If you
가지
look for
칼로
the risk, you know, then there's always risk in everything.
제가 칼로 산에 가도 미통으로 가세요. 모टा 담에 로실라 가세 통로. 남도 담에 가세 통로.
So many people die from eating food, and so many people die from airplane crash, right? And so many people die from car accidents, or, the bus accidents, and so forth. So there's so much threat and risk all the time there. So if you think about the risks, then there's nothing you can find without any risk.
Right. So if there's nothing you can find without any risk, and it's just as risky to be driving in a car, or to be going on a plane, or to be walking down the street, then you have just as much of a risk as getting a 99.6% survival rate virus.
So
why don't we stop driving?
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. If I can interrupt very respectfully, Geshe Jangchub and Austin, we have these discussions all the time in the media, in society, and this and that. Sunday morning, when I log into this, I'm trying to get away from this. This is not the right forum for these questions, Austin, unfortunately. If you do want time to address your worries, really from a spiritual perspective, I think it would be better to just schedule some time with Geshe. I say this with love and respectfully. It's just, this is not the forum for it. We're coming here to get away from that. These are discussions in society and with scientists and politicians, and it's just, let's not politicize the sacred space, please.
So I'm not here to politicize any sacred space. I'm here to just...
I'm saying that respectfully. It was not meant to be an argument.
Completely. And I'm going to say the same thing respectfully, is that I come here on a Sunday morning to talk with all of you. You're on my Sangha, and Geshe is my teacher. And so if I have a concern, that I actually don't talk about these things. I don't listen to the news. I try not to listen to the news. I try to come here to get a sober sense of what Geshe feels are these situations. Okay, so respectfully, I have to disagree with you.
Okay,
that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's okay.
May I speak? May I speak?
Yeah. Okay. Now I like to take the question from the law. Yeah.
Hi, Geshe. This one is from the meditation on equanimity. So, is a little difficult with the enemy. I think that's common for everyone. But I think part of it is like, do you have to get past like a forgiveness of the person to have like a type of compassion for them? And then after having like that compassion thought, saying like, they don't want suffering, they don't want, maybe, they're controlled by delusions too. How can you trust yourself or trust them again? Is there like a boundary that you have to follow? Because I feel like it's kind of mixed with me, like, okay, you kind of forgive them, you have a good thought, but then like, it's okay to not trust them again, right?
Khensur?
Da konzola da gongba ra da gongda shwale no gongba te da ina da gongba te da ina da konzo da anjo chana no ba jing ma resne kan khelen tu resra da ina je da konola iche ma che de ngada digras gongba te ina iche ma chen digras
뭐 대들이 이제미지 그 강쳐도 그 제자 이치고 그 라고요 말was.
Yeah, no, you don't have to trust,
Yeah.
You don't have to trust that they're not going to repeat the same thing again. Of course, they're also under the control of delusion. They can again do it again and again.
제가 간지 소소 내가 소도 가는 간지 소소고 셈바 지금 주마로 왔다 되게 탑시 제주다 때 내가 좋은 것도 가지 나추장 그대로.
So from their side, you can't control them. So they can do good or bad, right? But main thing is from your side, to think, of the things, so that your mind will not be disturbed.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Michael?
But I think it's things will change, even though your enemy may have said something that hurt you, or their mind will also change. So I don't think that will always continue. So and yeah, it is from your own side. I think it's easier to meditate and change your mind than other.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good to think about for a little bit. Impermanent. Do we have very good understand impermanent? It will change. It's not always like that. Okay. Any other questions? There was a America. Your question?
I think Lone brought it up. I was about, do you forgive and trust? I meditated about someone who was a dear friend that I worked with. I'm a teacher, who hurt me very badly, that had bad ramifications. It still wounds me. And I felt some of it lift because I know he is a wounded person too. I won't trust him because that would be fully, because I think that would be not respectful of myself and what is good for me, although I still can care for him and love him. And actually, I'm thinking that I will probably have to meditate all the time, like every time, because I'm so sensitive and get so upset physically when people don't agree with me sometime. And Austin, I respect you. I don't know you. I come periodically. I haven't been here often. And it's respectfully, it's my total different view, and I'm not getting into any discussions about it. In terms, though, as a teacher, who will be 65 in January, I'm that 4%, of people who, it's like all our grandparents. And I know people that have died, parents, students that have lost grandparents. The wisdom of our ages, and I got COVID myself from someone not wearing a mask who coughed on me.
Yeah, I've lost people who had the flu too.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I'm not getting in. I don't particularly want to get into a debate about it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk further about COVID. If you have some questions,
and so the thing is, now I'm honestly upset, from hearing a different view, not personally from Austin, him as a person, but and so I think I need to go meditate. So do you meditate all the time, Geshe? I mean, or you
don't have to meditate all the time, but you need to control your mind how to meditate, because it's not everyone's same view. Everyone's different view, different thought, different idea. It doesn't follow that way. We don't have to follow because that way. It's okay. It's calm, because we need to different views, different thoughts. We can develop things also. Therefore, you have to meditation. You need to just thought doesn't go away. You need to meditation, and you can see. You can also investigation. Then try to follow the best way. And even if we know what's good, what's better, we don't meditation, it doesn't fix. Same as when we say okay, you take the medicine, you recover, But if we don't check, it will never cover. We know that the medicines are good, we know they work, but if we don't check, we don't swallow, it doesn't work. It's like that. You know, we say, oh, meditation is good, but we need to action. Okay? But it takes time. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's not
Yeah,
easy.
if easy, so everyone become enlightened. It's not easy because it's very difficult. Why is it difficult? Because we are the very, how to say, the same thing. Was.
Yeah, because our mind, is very habituated with the negatives.
Okay. Okay, now we stop. Okay, I hope all of you think about always try to a little bit positive way. It's okay, everyone can believe different way, thought different way, it's fine. It's nothing wrong. His Holiness Dalai Lama always say, because we need to different religions. We are not same view. We are not same believer. It's exactly like that. We can also different believe, different thoughts, fine. Main things, try to what makes for you benefit and for others benefit. You can follow that way. Okay? Okay, thank you guys. Now you can pray. Bob.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Jangchub.
Thanks
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Saji perki juxing me tok tram ri rab ling jing ni de gen pa di sam ge jing du ming te o wa gi drokum nam da jing la chur pa shu je tu la me ku te rab tin jing nam ka trin le chok chur ge pa dang no sam ten pedrin me sa sun gi dro we mun sel ta tu ne gyur chi idam kuru ratna mandalakam hiryatayami. From my two collections, vast is space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time by even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha's state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Big made say we turgeon raising, dreaming yen bei wang po jump yang gang chen ke pei su gen song kapa lo sang drang pei Jabla Solvade.
That's wonderful. Anyway, thank you. It's okay. We can debate. You know, the monks debate always. They not believe same thing. Okay, what they debate, same object, same author, same teacher, but they debate sometimes 24 hours. It's okay, no problem. Okay, because you know we can different thoughts, different ideas, different views. It's fine, no problem. Therefore, anything is too wonderful. Have a good day. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Jangchub.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, everybody.
Good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Also, yeah, one thing for thank you for all of you, you know, support the center. Of course, you know, the center is, depends for all the students, right? Therefore, even we don't open person, but we live here, we eating here. Therefore, very important to continue and support the center. You know, it is for our house, everyone's house. Therefore, thank you for all of you. Very wonderful. I'm sure, you know, all of you doing, you know, best always. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Bob. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
For those of you who are new to the center, like to just introduce myself. My name is Margaret, and I'm the volunteer for at the center taking care of fundraising. So for those of you who are new to Kurukulla Center, we are 100% supported through donations of benefactors, supporters like students and everyone like ourselves. We don't have grant, we don't have any other source of income. Due to COVID, the center's been closed and it's really hard. You know, people used to just drop a few bucks into the donation box. A little bit from everyone, you know, helps the center get going. So if you can, I know it's difficult time for everyone right now, so we do really appreciate the situation. Whatever you can afford to support helps. Every little bit helps to keep us going. So if you can help us, you can go to the website and look for the donation button. Or, you know, the address is on PayPal is the easiest, and it's just paypal@kurukulla.org. If you look for that address, that should come up. We're also constantly on Facebook. If you have any question about the center or anything relating to this, you can send me an email at development@kurukulla.org. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Geshe and Jangchub, for this.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Geshe.
Geshe.
Margaret. Bye.
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 Bye.